Good evening, everybody. Welcome. That was nice. This meeting is being held in accordance with the public laws of 1975, Chapter 231. An adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by a notice sent to the Asbury Park Press, the Two River Times, and the Star Ledger, and posted in the main lobby of the municipal building and on the municipal website. OPMA authorizes municipalities to conduct public meetings through the use of streaming services and other online meeting platforms. The Red Bank Council is meeting in person as well as providing an option for the public to participate via Zoom video meetings. Please note that the option to attend is being provided as a courtesy. Therefore, if Zoom becomes unavailable during the meeting and it cannot quickly be fixed, council will continue with the remainder of the meeting. For those joining us via Zoom, please raise your hand during designated times to be recognized for a comment. Whether you are appearing in person or via Zoom, you must provide your name to be recognized. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please, Mary.
Councilmember Bonatakis.
Here.
Councilmember Cassidy.
Present.
Councilmember Facey Blackwood.
Here.
Councilmember Forrest.
Present.
Councilmember Janone.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Trigiano.
Here.
And Mayor Portman.
Here. Well, we have a lot to get to tonight, but none of it is more important than honoring the Red Bank Middle School basketball girls team for being champions.
Yes.
In proclamation in recognition of Red Bank Middle School girls basketball team Shore Athletic League champions. All right. Whereas the Red Bank Middle School girls basketball team has achieved the prestigious title of Shore Athletic League champions. Whereas this marks the third Shore Athletic Conference championships and joining the league, underscoring the program's sustained excellence. Even my voice sounds better now. Whereas head coach Gabrielle Coco and volunteer coach Joey Fields did an exceptional job teaching their athletes to be their very best on and off the field. Whereas athletic director Isaac Nathanson provided the necessary resources to help support this championship journey. Whereas on February 6th, 2025, the Red Bank Middle School girls team closed out the regular season 12-2 with the best defense in the league for the third consecutive year and the second best offense. Because defense wins games, coach, am I right? Whereas the Red Bank Middle School basketball team concentrated on the joy, camaraderie, and the skill of the game where all team members contributed to the overall success of the team and demonstrated exemplary sportsmanship. Whereas on February 13th, 2025, the Red Bank Middle School girls basketball team faced off against Oak Hill Academy in the Shore Athletic League Championship. The RBMS girls basketball team were victorious 20-18 and solidified their place as the best team in the Shore Athletic League Conference. Therefore, I, William Portman, Mayor of the Borough of Red Bank, on behalf of the council and a proud community, do hereby recognize the Red Bank Middle School girls basketball team as the 2025 Shore Athletic League champions. You guys just want to, if you want to come up, I'm going to meet me here at the tables. I'm going to call you up one by one and give you a certificate of recognition. Thank you.
Yeah, where were you, Jim?
What the developers are.
Gabby Barrios Tiro. Alexandra Carrion Cabrera. Nelly Carrion Cabrera. Melissa Chicas. Stephanie Coyote Mora. Troublefield. Uh, Michaela Fish. Raya Gaetano Tomas. Janelle Graham. Giovanna Loreno. Ina Marie Loreno. Leticia Marvel Rodriguez. Natalie Matias. Cecilia Mesa. Jocelyn Ortiz Hernandez. Peyton Perry Elliott. Zuleika Noto Currier. Maya Sudam. Slivera. Victoria Encarnacion. Carla Garcia. Dolores Rojas. Stephanie Varela Alas. I have the proclamation if you want that, and I can give you the other ones. Do you want to come up and we'll take a picture with the whole team? You feel all the.
Informations today.
He's not that tall. It's bedroom.
You know, we gotta do that here. We got one way back here.
Yeah, Michaela has to go up front, you can't see her.
Hey.
Oh, you're like getting down in height.
Just look at his back. There you go.
Hey, what do we say? Chins up, big teeth. Open your eyes.
Ah.
Nice. Lower. Big teeth. Nice. Champions.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah, nice job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, y'all take care.
Painted threes in that gym this past weekend during the during the fire department drill.
Stop, you lost it, Horace, don't get yourself.
Bobby Lavaret says we're gonna start a pickup game.
What?
It's all fun until I break a hit.
You tell them they can leave if they want. Probably. Tell them to leave. I'll this.
Congratulations again, everyone. Doing Red Bank proud. Carry on.
I supported that meeting.
Since I see we have someone here to accept this award, we're going to jump to the proclamation for Jazz Appreciation Month. Whereas jazz is an original American art form that affirms the noblest aspiration of our national character, individual discipline, perseverance, and innovation. And whereas jazz has produced some of America's leading creative artists, ranks as one of America's greatest exports to the world, and has inspired dancers, choreographers, poets, novelists, filmmakers, classical composers, and musicians, and many other kinds of music. And whereas this April marks the 126th birthday of one of the 20th century's greatest artists, Edward Kennedy Duke Ellington. And whereas jazz has spoken eloquently for freedom of people in the United States and abroad and has become an international language that bridges differences and brings people of all races, ages, and backgrounds together. And whereas Red Bank has a deep connection to jazz, it's the birthplace of William Count Basie as the home of two nonprofit organizations that honor jazz in programming and education, the Count Basie Theater and Jazz Arts Project, which curates and presents world-class jazz events such as the annual Summer Jazz Cafe at the Two River Theater and various music education programs for area youth. And whereas the Borough of Red Bank also offers events focusing on jazz music with two park series curated and presented by the Jazz Arts Project, the annual Jazz in the Park series, and the Count Basie 365 concerts held in Johnny Jazz Gata Park. And whereas on April 30th, Jazz Arts Project will be celebrating their 20th year, a fun and elegant evening combining the glamour of the Roaring '20s and the rhythms of the Jazz Age, a fundraiser and fitting tribute as part of the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, International Jazz Day. Now, therefore, I, William Portman, Mayor of the Borough of Red Bank, do hereby proclaim April 2024 as Jazz Appreciation Month in the Borough of Red Bank and urge our residents to become involved in a local jazz society, enjoy the arts and music programs offered in our borough, and to celebrate the month of April as Jazz Appreciation Month. I think Joe is here to accept, right? Hey, if you want to come give this on me, you're a big jazz fan.
You know, we got Gary Bartz coming to town on May 17th.
See, there you go.
Over at the Vogel,
Mhm.
right? We got good jazz coming. And it's worthwhile to mention that Triumph curates a free.
Whoever wrote that was really good.
Look forward to this summer very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good to see you. Photo op, I'm not saying no.
Former Councilwoman Kathy Horgan wanted to be here as well, but her ferry was delayed, so.
That's not
Okay,
even part of New Jersey Transit.
next up, we have a proclamation for Child Abuse Prevention Month. Whereas children as are our nation's most vulnerable members, as well as our nation's most valuable resources, helping to shape the future of Red Bank and New Jersey. And whereas positive childhood experiences like loving caregivers and safe, stable, and nurturing relationships can help mitigate trauma and the negative impact of adverse childhood experiences to promote the social, emotional, and developmental well-being of children. And whereas childhood trauma can have long-term psychological, emotional, and physical effects throughout an individual's lifetime and impact future generations of their family. And whereas childhood trauma, including abuse and neglect, is a serious problem affecting every community in the U.S., and finding solutions requires input and action from everyone. And whereas children who live in families with access to concrete economic and social supports are less likely to experience abuse and neglect. And whereas prevention is possible because of the partnerships created between Child Abuse New Jersey families, prevention advocates, child welfare professionals, education, health, community, and faith-based organizations, businesses, law enforcement agencies, local, state, and national governments. And whereas we acknowledge that in order to solve the public health issue of abuse and neglect, we must work together to change hearts and mindsets through storytelling and sharing, center the needs of family, break down bias and barriers, and inspire action from expected and unexpected partners in prevention. And whereas we are committed to advancing equitable, responsive, and effective systems that ensure all children and families are healthy and thriving. And whereas we recognize the need to prioritize kids and invest in more prevention initiatives like home visiting and family strengthening policies, economic supports, and community-based child abuse prevention programs at the national, state, and local levels. Now, therefore, I, William Portman, Mayor of the Borough of Red Bank, County of Monmouth, State of New Jersey, do hereby proclaim April as National Child Abuse Prevention Month in the Borough of Red Bank and urge all citizens to recognize this month by building a narrative of hope for children and families through collaboration and the creation of an ecosystem of primary prevention. Earth Day proclamation, April 22nd, 2025. Whereas all species play a unique role in the complex web of life and contribute to the ecosystem services on which all life on Earth depends, and hence protecting our species is crucial to the survival of this planet and its inhabitants. And whereas wild animal populations have declined on average by more than half, and the Earth is facing an era of mass extinction, and whereas the loss of species is for the most part a result of human activity, including degradation of ecosystems, deforestation, pollution, and climate change. And whereas many plants, wild animals, and pollinators live in urbanized landscapes, and cities thereby have a responsibility to examine the ecological impacts of expanding urban areas and how to protect biodiversity. And whereas it is understood that sustainability will only be achieved by meeting the needs of the present without compromising the needs of future generations. And whereas it is more important than ever to cooperate locally and internationally to defend the environmental progress that has been heretofore gained. And whereas it is essential to expand and diversify the global environment movement to achieve maximum progress. Whereas Earth Day is an annual reminder of the constant need for environmental activism, stewardship commitments, and sustainability efforts. Now, therefore, I, William Portman, Mayor of the Borough of Red Bank, proclaim that April 22nd, 2025 is Earth Day, and citizens of Red Bank are encouraged to celebrate and to increase the awareness and promotion of the protection of our world.
Not lost on all of us how sad it is that we're making proclamations about these things as it's all dismantled above us.
Next up is International Dark Sky Week. Whereas the aesthetic beauty and wonder of natural night sky is a shared heritage of all humankind, and whereas the experience of standing under a starry night sky inspires feelings of wonder and awe, encouraging a growing interest in science and nature, particularly among young people and visitors from outside the local communities. And whereas light pollination has scientifically established economic and environmental consequences, which result in significant impacts on the ecology and human health of all communities, And whereas 80% of the world's population, including many people in the state of New Jersey, county of Monmouth, borough of Red Bank, lives under a dome of light pollution, excessive artificial lighting at night that disrupts natural darkness and may never experience the visual wonder or ecological and health benefits of living under a dark sky. And whereas light pollution represents a waste of natural resources amounting to roughly 3 billion per year of wasted energy in the United States and contributes to diminished energy security. And whereas Dark Sky International, the globally recognized authority on light pollution, recognizes International Dark Sky Week to raise awareness of the effects of light pollution, providing free education, resources, and solutions to the public, and encourage the protection of and enjoyment of dark skies and responsible outdoor lighting. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that we, the mayor and the Red Bank Borough Council, do hereby declare April 22nd through 28th, 2025 as International Dark Sky Week, and ask each resident to join us not only in observing and pondering upon this important week, but also in raising awareness and support for protecting our precious dark sky as a resource. And if we could get that street light killed on Harrison across from my house, that would be a beautiful thing.
See the parking lot at Trader Joe's? Maybe we should look into that, Mr. Manager, Mayor.
Wildlife friendly colors.
Okay, little guy. And finally, it is
Yeah.
National Donate Life Month. Let life sing. Whereas National Donate Life Month was established by Donate Life America and its partnering organizations in 2003, observed in April each year, National Donate Life Month helps raise awareness about donation, encourages Americans to register as organ, eye, and tissue donors, and to honor those who have saved lives through the gift of donation. And whereas the New Jersey Organ and Tissue Sharing Network is committed to addressing that need through enhanced awareness. And whereas in 2024, more than 48,000 transplants from 24,000 donors brought renewed life to patients and their families and communities. And whereas more than 100,000 people are waiting on the national transplant waiting list for life-saving organ transplants. And whereas nearly 60% of patients on the national transplant waiting list are from multiple multicultural communities. And whereas another person is added to the national organ transplant waiting list every 8 minutes. And whereas 13 people die each day while waiting for a transplant, over 5,600 people in the US die each year while on the transplant waiting list. And whereas 86% of patients on the waiting list are waiting for a kidney, the average waiting time for a kidney from a deceased donor is 3 to 5 years. A kidney from a living donor offers patients an alternative to years of dialysis and time on the national transplant waiting list. The living donor's remaining kidney will increase in size, doing the work of 2 healthy kidneys. And whereas 9% of patients are in need of a liver, living donations of part of the liver can help these patients. The remaining portion of the donor liver will regenerate within 4 months and regain full function. And whereas more than 40% of all deceased donors are age 50 or older, 9% are age 65 or older. And whereas more than 2.5 million life-saving and healing tissue transplants are performed each year, offering patients a new chance at healthy, productive, and normal lives. And whereas a single tissue donor can help more than 75 people. And whereas more than 78,000 corneal transplants helped to restore sight in 2023. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that we, the mayor and the Red Bank Borough Council, do hereby recognize April as National Donate Life Month as a great opportunity to join in the fight to save lives by giving the greatest gifts. Be it further proclaimed that we, the mayor and the Red Bank Council, urge all residents to join in promoting organ and tissue donor education through the National Donate Life Month observance. All right, a quick announcement too. Our annual budget presentation will be held on Tuesday, April 22nd at 5:30 p.m. Right here at the Red Bank Borough Hall in the courtroom, 90 Monmouth Street. Red Bank encourage you all to come and listen to the budget presentation. And now can I have a motion to open the floor for public comment on agenda items only? Can I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone have any questions about the agenda? Anyone online, Jim? No? Jimmy, you good? All right. Yeah, we got a couple of those. I'm just checking. All right. I have a motion to close the public comment on agenda items only.
So moved.
Have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from March 27th, 2025? Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next up, we're going to introduce, how many ordinances?
One.
One ordinance.
Okay.
This is the introduction of 2025-06, an ordinance amending chapter 9 boards, committees, and commissions of the borough's revised general ordinances to create a new article. Article 13, Red Bank Arts Committee, to encourage and facilitate the development of public visual arts within the borough. Can I have a motion to approve 2025-06 on introduction?
So moved.
Can I have a second? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bonatakis?
Yes.
Councilmember Cassidy?
An emphatic yes.
Councilmember Facey Blackwood? Yes. Councilmember Forrest?
Yes.
Councilmember Janone?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Trigiano?
Yes, and Mayor Portman.
Yes. Public hearing will be held on this on April 24th. And anyone have anything they want to pull out of the resolutions, or can we do it on the consent agenda? If you want to take a quick peek, anything need to be highlighted?
No objections here, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve resolutions 2578 through 2586 on the consent agenda?
So moved.
I have a second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bonatakis?
Yes.
Councilmember Cassidy?
Yes.
Councilmember Facey Blackwood? Yes. Councilmember Forrest?
Yes.
Councilmember Janone? Deputy Mayor Trigiano?
Yes.
And Mayor Portman?
Yes. A couple of items from special events committee meetings that were approved and we need final approval. I'll just read them off real quick, not every one of them. FC Monmouth, both the men's and the women's team have a bunch of games that I put in my calendar already. New Hope Temple Ministries at 172 Catherine Street is having a health fair on May 17th. Red Bank Elks Hometown Heroes Barbecue at the Elks Lodge is on May 24th. The AYC Family Barbecue is at the Count Basie Field on May 17th. Pilgrim Baptist Church 10th Annual Bike Blessing is Saturday, June 7th. St. Anthony Procession for the Feast of St. Anthony is Saturday, June 14th. The annual community picnic softball event, it's a first responder honor event at the Count Basie Fields on August 16th, Saturday.
Mayor, sorry, just real quick.
Yeah,
With the next two, number 8s to stay, number 9, if you could, we're gonna strike that from the agenda.
okay, so we are keeping 8 but not 9.
Correct.
So number 8, then it's the Absolute Home Mortgage Marketplace, which is Saturday, April 26th.
And I believe that that's for their, kind of their ribbon cutting, right? Is how that was,
It's the pizza,
right, to celebrate the start of their business.
Right.
Gotcha. All right. Now, can I have a motion to open the floor for public comment?
I'll make such a motion.
Can I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Look, he didn't even have to wait. He knew what was coming. Come on, Jimmy.
Jimmy Dart, 48 West Cincinnati Road. One major thing, and you said people, can go online, go on internet, to find out what's going on in Red Bank, or any major thing. Johnny Jazz Park got their billboard, and I said, a lot of people don't have, internet or whatever, but any major thing going, could they put that up on a billboard to verify what's going on?
Yeah, we try and update that billboard, but a lot of the other notices are things like a road closure or, you know, it just, you can only get so much on that billboard before
Right.
it's not all clear.
The major thing I just want to know this. They say the park, foot of West Sunset is gonna be capped only, right? Nothing else.
I don't think we've even begun discussing that, have we?
You said foot of West Sunset Avenue down in, it's gonna be capped only.
As opposed to what?
You said it's gonna be cleaned up, but it's gonna be capped only, nothing else.
I don't know.
What are you asking me? I mean, is the property gonna be used for something else?
Yes.
I don't think we've passed a resolution one way or the other that there's stating any Sunset,
We're doing
town of
cleanup.
Sunset Park.
It's just cleaning it up.
Yeah, right now, it's just, all they're talking about is cleaning it up.
And that's it.
Right now, that's all that we're discussing,
It
yes.
ain't gonna be nothing else,
That I don't know.
but, that's.
Honestly, it depends on, sorry, thank you. Depends on the cleanup. So part of cleaning up is investigating what's there. So at this moment in history, until they do the cleanup and they do a lot of remedial investigation, we can't even really tell you what might be able to be there. It all has to do with regulations and the DEP.
Yeah, but my thing is, the DEP, EPA, whoever these people are, I've been saying this for years, these people should come out where people can ask them personal questions. When you get to the root of things, besides just coming here to ask y'all, but these people, wherever they are in the mountains or Himalayas, or they should be here to ask these questions, because you shouldn't have to wait a last minute thing. But I think it's public knowledge.
Well, let me just tell you, there's nothing last minute about this. We have a long road to go with Sunset.
Right.
The cleanup, the investigation is gonna take a long time, and we're putting the grant funding in place now to do all this. But as far as any community input and involvement and engagement that's gonna happen of what happens to that property once an investigation and cleanup is actually underway and completed, we're a long road ahead of that.
Yeah, but the reason I'm doing this way ahead of time, because I always say hit it right now, because you hear so many stories. One time they said they're gonna put a park there. One time they said they're not gonna put it. But my thing is, I'm just saying, once we look into, that's like you open the refrigerator up and see what we're gonna do inside, once we're inside that box. And I was just saying, because it's very dangerous. And I said, look, my thing is, if you know people that have lived down in Long Branch and look behind Second Baptist, that's a disaster mess. That's like, should just put a blanket over it. Should never been done. So that's what I think about the foot of Sunset, because it needs to be told to people, because a lot of people they think it's a joke. But when you hear people passed on from radiation and all kinds of disease and cancer and all this stuff, and that's why I'm saying it should have these people come here so they don't sit here at the last minute and come.
But I would say this, between myself and particularly this mayor and council, who are very environmentally sound and put that priority forward. We're gonna rely on what the LSRP, which is the actual professional services that are hired for this, to tell us what's going on there. And we're gonna make informed decisions with that property based on what we know about that property.
Will they be open for the people to ask them questions?
I'm sure we'll be having public conversations.
There will be.
I mean,
Yeah.
And this town, a lot has happened in this town over the years, but I was sitting here for a while. I have to tell you, this is one of the most environmentally proactive towns that I represent. You remember when they found lead in the community garden, they shut it down and did a cleanup? You know, the community was involved in that. You know, at the lead service lines, there was a whole public forum about that. I have to tell you that, you know, this town's really on the forefront of that sort of thing. You know, I see a lot of places where we solve problems behind the scenes, but this place is certainly not one of them, so.
But, you know, I know, that's why I said when I first come down, I need time, because I said it should be, these people should come and be here. It shouldn't be a thing, a thought, or whatever's on, up in here. What's gonna happen? And it's not, and you know, it's a graveyard. It's a solid graveyard, and I would say nothing can, might would just close the door, my thing, just like you said, might would just close the door. Cause it can't, it's inhabitable, like I said, you can skim off the top. When you skim off the top, it's just like, you know, what's gonna come on top.
We will,
Hope we do
again,
have a lot of
Jimmy, we will
testing.
definitely have a presentation and have some of these experts that we've hired to come and explain to the community what's going on down there.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Well, thank you. Anyone else have any questions, comments?
What Jimmy's going off of? Somebody sent me a map of the West Side Park,
Yeah, I saw that.
of the West Side Park. That's supposed to be down the foot of Sunset. I showed it to Jimmy. That's why he asked me questions. Somebody sent it to me.
I know what it is.
I don't know, you know, somebody sent it to me. And I got a picture, I showed it to Jimmy, and it says West Side Park, let me just see.
Yeah, Freddie, that's from back in, was that 2017?
Yeah, I'm saying, I
Yep,
seen this, but I just got it again,
Yep.
just, I think last week, the week before that, so I got it again.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I guess the person thinks that y'all still in the process now. Other thing I got, Mayor, Councilman, I came to this meeting yesterday. No disrespect on nobody. I'm just getting fed up with this. I reached out today. Hansberry, Long Branch, also Freehold and Red Bank chapter for the NACP. Email, none of them respond back to the email. None of them call me back. Red Bank, email, do not receive. This guy come to this meeting, throw up in your face, excuse me for pointing at you. He's suing you. I'm sick and tired of this. NACP does that. They don't talk about or brag who they suing. I used to be the vice president of the NACP, and I'm getting sick and tired of this guy using the NAC for his personal use. It's ridiculous. If they find this out, he would be in the slammer. He's using it for his personal use. When Mayor McKenna was the mayor, he was still the president of the NACP. How long do they keep a president? How long do they keep the president? Where's the rest of the members at? And I'm, don't get me wrong, I'm upset because he come there and he threatened all of y'all with letters. You got a lawyer, sue the NACP. That's what you do, send a letter to sue NACP. I'm not, I'm very upset because.
I have to tell you, I know you're upset. I've been in court when he's brought that. I can't even tell you how many times he's brought that up. I have to tell you that I think most people take it as a grain of salt when he says it. But he does cite that all the time as that position.
I would attend an NAACP meeting or if that's your concern, but that's not this body here. We don't address the representation of outside bodies here. I understand your concern.
If there's anyone in the town that we don't tell what to do, it's definitely him. So, yeah.
Everybody talk, oh man, he got a lawsuit against Asbury don't does that. Long Branch don't do this. This is the main man right here. He don't even know about half of this stuff this man using. I'm just, don't get me wrong, I come to the meetings. All y'all deserve respect, but not like that. Any lawyer, you're a lawyer. If you got a client, just like he said, well, your lawyer told Bill not to say nothing to me. That's what you're supposed to do. And he's supposed to shut up if he got a lawsuit. If you know anything about a lawyer, he's supposed to be quiet. Not bring stuff up here. I'm very upset about this. It's time for y'all, the attorney, put your foot down, stop this. Send letters to the chapel of the NACP and you'll get a response. When you send a letter saying you suing them for using their advertising name and whatnot, you'll see something. Other than that.
You know what, I know some of those people, we can talk after the meeting about who they are, and I could reach out. I definitely know one of them. Maybe we could, I don't know if a letter writing, but I know what you're saying. I think someone should let them know. Me, I'll call them up.
It's time out for this. I'm just serious. It's embarrassing. Thank you.
Thank you, Freddie.
Thank you.
How's the knee?
So it gives out, but I'm still walking. Oh, I'm sorry. The other thing, I know y'all was tied up Saturday, and I walked with the autistic kids in the Long Branch, and it was a nice turnout till it started raining. And when y'all get a chance, and I want to thank all of y'all for the handicap sign you putting up there.
Oh, yeah.
They proud of it and they happy about it. Just let me know when y'all gonna have it done. Cause some of the brothers wanna come up there with the autistic kids and take pictures. Okay. You don't mind?
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jim's on it.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any questions, comments? Just state your name and your address, sir.
Michael Mazzio, from Gallery, Lucido, Wallace Street, in Robson, 42 Blackboard Road. I am the one who wrote up this idea of the Arts Council to the mayor's office, and I'm very excited that we're all interested in it. I've been involved in the arts for 40 years, I guess, since I graduated Rutgers with a degree in economics. That's not for me. I went toward the arts community and I've been involved ever since. I've been a teacher. I'm a college professor. Now I've been teaching for 40 years, also. I'm 35. And I'm not ready to retire yet. Continuing. But I opened the gallery here 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, actually. And because I thought it was something I was missing from Red Bank, from the area. You know, I see a lot of activity, a lot of excitement down in Asbury Park. And I wondered why, why not here? It's a beautiful town. We've got a lot going on here. And I've since found out that there are an enormous amount of artists here. And since opening the gallery, it helped, bring a lot of people out. There's a lot of excitement right now about the arts. And we've got some more programs planned. Thinking about, hearing you talking about Earth Day, we're planning a summer-long environmental exhibition. And we're hoping to partner with some local organizations, environmental organizations, and put on some talks and events also during the summer. Anyway, if there's anything I can do, more than willing to help see this through. I'd like to bring more arts into the community. As you know, when we build up the art community, tourism follows, the businesses follow, and I think things get better all around. So if there's anything I can do, please reach out to me. Stop by the gallery if you're interested. Wall Street. Thank you.
Mayor, may I say something very quickly? Thank you for doing what you're doing. And I like your proposal for this summer to do some environmental art displays. Just to say that we do have a local resident, Lisa Bagwell, who, great.
She's actually she's the core person in this exhibition.
Wonderful. She does great stuff.
That's a good plan.
Yes. Thank you.
For full disclosure, Michael was my Parsons pre-college professor back in 2005. 2005, yeah.
Who feels older, right?
I was walking down the street and I see this gallery's opening and I called one of my friends. I said, it looked, there's a legit gallery opening in town. I couldn't believe it when I walked in and I saw him there. So I don't think, we would have the confidence to really take the initiative of starting a visual arts committee if we didn't have present arts leadership in town. Similar to what Asbury Park has. One of the reasons their visual arts committee works so well is that Jenny at Parlor Gallery actually hosts their meetings, and we're hoping to achieve something very similar here with this partnership. So thank you very much, Michael. We appreciate it.
There's a lot of excitement about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Jim, anyone online with questions? Anyone else here? Belinda, you got anything? You good? You good? All right. Can I have a motion to close the public comment?
Make that motion.
Can I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, let's get the skinny from the council. You got anything, Christina?
Yeah, well, I would just start by, I know you mentioned it, but just a second time is good. The budget presentation is happening on the 22nd at 5:30 right here. I used to come to those as a resident, and you might not believe me, but it really is thrilling to hear from our CFO a breakdown of the budget. He does a great job. And if you want to know more about the details, I really encourage people to come. Separately, I neglected last month to give some notes on the Historic Preservation Commission's annual report that they filed. But just some facts for the council that were interesting. They saw 12 applications last year, 6 minor and 6 regular applications. The minor applications being actually streamlined a bit, their approval processes. Their goals for 2025 include completion of their architectural survey and design guidelines, which I've spoken about here before. Also pursuing local designation of sites that are already listed on the county, state, and national historic registers. We don't acknowledge them locally
to date, many of them, but sometimes those are the strongest protections that there are. And lastly, they're interested in making some recommendations for the treatment of so-called ghost signs. So the historic advertising that sometimes surface during construction or demolition. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Mr. Cassidy.
Briefly, Mr. Mayor, first and foremost, we are entering into the Passover. I want to wish all residents and council members who celebrate happy Passover, and we won't be here for Easter either. We're entering, Eastertide. So happy Easter to everyone. A very nice job at the egg hunt this past year. And man, do you call a good egg hunt, Mr. Mayor? You call a very good egg hunt.
It's on my resume.
I was really touched, sometimes the resolutions come in, and you don't really, they just come in, but the National Donate Life, May 7th, everyone, if you want to fly, has to have a real ID. So if you haven't done it yet, you got to get down to the DMV, and it's your chance to become a organ donor, which I did when I switched over to my real ID this past June. So just a little recommendation to my friends, my colleagues, my neighbors, that there's a big opportunity for everyone to do it. It's easy, and the resolution said everything.
Yes.
Oh, okay. First and foremost, I want to mention that the Red Bank had their annual Green Fair, partnered with the Red Bank Middle School. There were lots of tables, lots of displays. This year's theme for the middle schoolers seemed to be about plastics and water issues, and they had a lot of really great displays. So I do want to give them a lot of credit. So next year, make a point to just swing by and see what the kids are up to. Also, the Environmental Commission gave away 60 native plants, and there's a raffle that they had today. I don't know who the winner is because we had to leave early, of a rain barrel as well as a compost bin. So, that was pretty exciting for them. They were very happy to be able to offer that to the residents this year. Also, we're asking residents to contact your state legislature reps, which would be, in our case, Senator Vengopal, Assemblywomen Luann Peter Paul, and Dr. Margie Donlin, to ask them to pass the Make Climate Polluters Pay legislation that's currently at the state. I would also like to mention for Jimmy in particular, that there's Senator Vengopal's office will be having a program at the Senior Center on Wednesday, April 30th for tax benefits for seniors. So, you got your big packet with the Anchor Senior Freeze and Stay New Jersey programs. Bring all your documentation, and there'll be people there to help you fill it out if you're finding it confusing. So that's pretty good. We have some town cleanups. There was one supposed to be this Saturday, sponsored by the Red Bank Dreamers and the Environmental Commission, but that's been postponed. I believe the tentative date is May 3rd. And the Red Bank was featured in the Sustainable Jersey newsletter for this month as well. So that's about all I have. What? I know.
You're up, man. Microphone. Microphone.
Oh. Do I have one there?
Yes. Following along at home.
Well, David, of course, talked about the Easter egg hunt, but I was impressed also with your emceeing of the event. Not an easy assignment. And I was also so impressed with all those volunteers, like from RBR and our own Parks and Rec, as well as our, thousands of parents out there. And the weather wasn't great, so that was a lot of fun. Switching hats to, actually, the president of RBR is here today, and I went to their meeting last night, and they introduced a contract for the superintendent of renewal. And I was there also for the presentation of their strategic plan, which I played a small role in, and so did George. I think Nancy might have been at one of those too. So that was good to see. And the other thing is, Wednesday, as usual, Nancy and I were at the our council office hours, and I just wanted to remind everybody watching and everybody here that if you want to talk about something around the borough at more length, please feel free to come to the senior center from 10 to noon. And council members will be there. It's usually Nancy and I, but other council members come. And I know the mayor has his own office hours on Mondays, and I believe the library by appointment on Wednesday night. Is that correct, Laura?
Wednesday night, yep.
But you have to call the clerk's office to set that up. And I'm always amazed by how much, even I learned there, and whether it's a crossing thing or need cones on a certain street, or taxes, or just general venting about something, or a homeless person who comes in. So it is actually quite powerful, and it's one of the best things I think we've done is do these office hours. Lastly, my fourth item is I wanted to compliment the police department. I think it's the police department. I noticed that there's been some efforts at some, like a food town. It's not pretty to look at, but some attention getting thing in the middle of the road to try to get drivers to slow down the pedestrian crossing there, and we need to do these things. I think I saw a sandbag and a sign in the middle of the road reminding drivers, I think I was one of the drivers going by, that there is a pedestrian crossing there. And I noticed more cones out on Shrewsbury Avenue and some of those yellow curved area where people typically park, which makes it very hard to cross safely or come out of the street safely. So anyway, I just wanted our manager to know that these efforts are appreciated, and the police department. That concludes my remarks, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Laura.
The library, I'll start with the library. We were just at the Green Fair, and the library tables right next to the animal welfare table. So, and right next to the environmental committee's tables, everything was really very organized. It was really good fair. So the Eisner Lab is reopening at the library on April 26th. On May 3rd, they're having a craft, which is diamond painting. On April 29th, they're having another Let's Talk About Race talk. And this happens to be Library Week also, so I wanted to share that. They also are having the office hours, the 5:45 to 7:45 on Wednesdays. Please call the clerk's office if you want to go to that. And they're continuing with their dance fitness every Friday, and bilingual story time at 3:30, April 11th. And Saturday, April 12th is the River reading series meeting in the West Room from 11:30 to 1:30. The family story time on race and diversity will be 11:30, also on Saturday the 12th. So that's the library. And we were at the Green Fair with the animal welfare, because that grant that we got, I know Jim, the mayor, met with the animal welfare people for the garden at the bottom of west side. And we had all the native plant information out there. We're really excited because the Girl Scout troop who did the fairy garden last year in downtown, they're going to be working with us to collect food, dog and cat food. This whole month, we have bins out front here. There's bins and fins and feathers for dog and cat food. And this Saturday, we're going to be in Pins and Feathers with the Girl Scouts collecting dog and cat food for.
I can't think of a better match
than the Girl Scouts.
Little Girl Scouts collecting food for kittens and puppies. I mean, that seems like a no-brainer there.
Apparently it's a big vote because Nancy and I went to Parks and Rec, and they were either going to work with the environmental committee picking up garbage or working with the puppies and kittens. And then they decided
Puppies and
to work
kittens
with the
won.
puppies and kittens. So we'll be collecting food. We were hoping to stand out in front, but I think it's supposed to be raining, but we'll be inside Fins and Feathers. So, and that's going to go to the SPCA. Newark is really having a real big problem with getting food in the Newark SPCA. So we're actually going to bring it up to Newark SPCA. So a lot of stuff going on with both those groups. And I just wanted to thank my fellow council members that showed up for my award the other night.
I had it too, but I knew you were someone going to get
Okay,
to
well, I'll let her speak about that. I got the Vinco Palace Civic Association Community Leader. And that was because of the work I do in the food pantry. And when I was up there, I failed to mention one other person that really has been, what I do is coordinate the food. I have a box on my porch and people send diapers and wipes to my house. And Nancy and I buy a lot of beans together and whatever else they need. And I go over about twice a week to the food pantry, but I forgot to mention, a really dear friend of mine, she's homebound. But so what she does is she sends diapers. Her name's Kathy Brady. She lives in Rumson. And she sends diapers and wipes to my house almost weekly that I take over to the food pantry. So I just wanted to, because I forgot to mention her the other day.
Good job.
Okay, that's it for me.
Deputy Mayor?
Yes, so when Laura's not working to collect food for dogs and cats, she's collecting food for humans. It was wonderful to attend the ceremony, and I think Laura's example is that focus is resistance. When you focus on a project and you really see it through and you do it every week. And I know Nancy helps out so much with that too. Kind of related to that, there's an Asbury Park Press article right now about Fulfill, who actually provides a lot of the stuff for our food pantries in Red Bank. And they're stating out loud that due to federal cuts, they're not going to be getting 150,000 pounds of the food that they were expecting to get in June. The federal government through the U.S. Department of Agriculture has cut $26 million worth of funding for New Jersey farmers for crops and food they would have been growing and then providing to food insecure communities. So I know myself, the entire council calls on all Red Bank residents who have any bit of land to start growing food and donating that food to our local food banks. Because as you can imagine, 150,000 pounds of food is going to be a hard thing to make up for just in our county. So the time has come for personal action. Please, if you have your own properties, grow a small victory garden. If you can only grow tomatoes in buckets, I've done it before in the paint buckets from Lowe's, start growing tomatoes and start bringing them over to lunch break in the Bingo Pal food pantry. Because it's going to be up to us to make up for these differences. Pivoting to something lighter. For Red Bank River Center, June 14th is the Red Bank Classic 5K. The Broad Walk begins on May 12th. That'll be the first day, 32 days, cannot wait to see everybody out there. And that's all I've got. Once again, congratulations, Laura. You set a beautiful example for the community with all that you do, and we're very grateful. Thanks.
Sure.
Yeah, I swear, Laura, I was happy to be at the pony, watching you accept your award and watching Kate babysit Vince's child.
Yeah.
I mean, Margie's child.
Margie's child.
It was adorable.
It's fun.
If anybody, is following the train station development more so than just commenting on a headline on Facebook. We had a really good meeting last night at the planning board. It's really slow, deliberative, listening to residents, not looking to rush this project through, still deciding on the scope of it. So I encourage you to come to those planning board meetings because your voice does matter. And regardless of your position on it, we're stronger when we're engaged with our community. So that's all I got. Jim, you want to do a manager's report?
Sure. Just to echo Christina's comments about the budget presentation, yes, we definitely encourage everybody to come out. We will be sure to provide a live stream link to that as well. I want to thank that's 5:30 on April 22nd. Right, Mary, 5:30, I have that right?
Yeah.
I just want to thank our budget committee, Christina, Nancy, and Ben, for providing your input, going through the budget line by line, asking the tough questions. I'm very, very happy with the budget that we are going to be presenting on the 22nd. I think we took a really hard look at this, and I think that with your guys' guidance, we came up with something that is really good to put forward to the public. And accomplishes a lot of what we still need and want to do. The Count Basie Bleacher Project, I've re-engaged with CME since we came to the lease agreement with the school. So we're gonna reinvigorate that project, ask them to, sharpen the pencil again on the proposal and take a look at that so we can get that out to design and look towards award and going out to bid for that project. Marine Park Green Space, if you've been down there lately, you're seeing that is nearing completion. And the new couple parking spaces and driveway area the paving work was done earlier this week, along with the curbing and everything else. The grass seed and the green space will be filled in short order here. So I'm happy with how that project took off as soon as we had some good weather this early spring. The Shrewsbury Avenue crosswalk at Monmouth Street, we were hoping that would be done this week. However, intermittent rain, cold weather pushed the contractor off to next week when we do have a block of sunny weather for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday that we're looking at. So I've been in contact pretty much every other day over the last week and a half with the county engineer. Yes, I have been every other day with the county engineer, after hours and everything. We've been talking, and they are definitely on top of this from the county engineering standpoint. Even he was not happy with exactly how the scope of this or the project timeline was rounding out. But I'm also happy to hear that they're going to be replacing a portion of the one apron that leads into our senior center. So that was kind of an additional part of the project that they're willing to do. So we will actually have like one-way traffic for the senior center for a 2-day curing period for that concrete work. So we'll have to work something out with the police and just let everybody know visiting the senior center that they're going to have to navigate that parking lot a little bit differently.
I have one quick question about that. The flashing beacon, is it gonna look like what's down by Riverview? Okay, so it's just gonna be
It's going to be solar,
a solar-based bag button and any flashing lights to,
not overhead, but on the sidewalk sides of both sides. It'll be there.
Like what's on Maple
Okay.
Avenue.
On Maple, and again, because
I almost got hit on Maple Avenue, with the light on and one car stopped, the other one didn't. So I was just hoping it was gonna be a little bit more
that
visible.
project at the hospital was definitely way involved.
Yeah, okay.
with Multiple agencies involved in that with the utility work that had to go into that.
Oh, I can imagine.
This one is, obviously at our request and
Major victory.
a major.
It is a major victory.
However, we know that we also had that TAP grant
Yeah,
coming online, so we don't want to, I would say, do too much without taking into consideration that whole project too, that we're gonna be doing in
Okay.
early 2026, hopefully.
can it
Um,
shoot off like whole thing of confetti every time?
Every time you cross the street.
I think I was there when Nancy almost got run over.
You were, yeah.
We are gonna be looking to make those improvements to
Yeah.
hopefully
Or
limit
bucket of
that as
bricks.
much as possible. And then two things, just from a anecdotal employee wellness standpoint, that's something that I take really great pride in here at the borough. We've put that wellness committee in place. We've been doing a lot of great stuff in-house. But one thing that we rolled out to our employees was a medical testing opportunity for government employees and their family to go to medical testing in Wall Township. It's a 4-hour process, 3 to 4 hour process where they go through the whole check for our employees, from echocardiogram, stress tests, urinalysis, blood work. They do ultrasounds on your carotid artery, your ankles for blood flow, a number of different things. And I personally said that I would definitely go and be the test subject for this. So I went this past week for 4 hours of medical testing. I'm looking forward to my results in 2 weeks, but I'm offering 3 hours of time off to the employees to do this. I think it's a great investment in their health, and it's something that they can pass on to their families too. So I'm encouraging all of our employees to go through that. And I think it's great to and it's a yearly thing you can do. And it's good for government employees of the borough council. If you're interested, it goes through your health insurance. They don't balance bill, and whatever the insurance pays, they take. And, again, I just think it's a great thing to offer. And then on a lighter note too, is we recently had our spring kickoff breakfast with our employees. It was nice to have 35 of the employees come through the lunchroom up in Borough Hall. I threw on the apron, I cooked pancakes, and everybody really enjoyed it, to kind of grab and go back to their offices. And it's just great to get everybody out, see each other, talk with different people from different departments.
I want to be invited to Jim's Pancake House.
You are. It's always in the emails.
Last year it was very good.
Yeah, there'll be more.
I like to put on the apron every once in a while.
All right.
Mayor, I forgot to bring one thing up. You brought up wellness. So with the Mayor Wellness Committee's been meeting. So we've had a couple of meetings already and they, in the planning stages, we're gonna meet with, a lot of people from town that are very involved with it. Pilgrim Baptist, BNA is gonna be involved. The library wants to be involved. So there's a lot of, stakeholders in town that want to be part of the Mayor Wellness. And we are having a cannabis talk again on May 6th in the senior center from 6 to 8. It's gonna be on medicinal plants, so that'll more on that.
Okay.
That's through the Mayor Wellness also.
All right, thank you. We have a second question? No, all right, then I have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion, Mayor.
I have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you all for being here.
Yeah.